everyone. This is Angela, and you're listening to Homeschool Unrefined, the podcast where we keep homeschool simple, real, and fun.
And this is Maren. You've got episode 99, where we take a winter break. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but first we want to say hi to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We love that you keep coming back every week, and we love getting to know you. So thanks for being here.
Yes. And a special hello to our Patreon supporters.
Yes.
Special thank you. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, you can go to patreon.com/homeschoolunrefined. You can get extra episodes and us just a community of people.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you are new here, a little bit about Homeschool Unrefined. We are a podcast where we want to be here for you. We want to encourage you as a homeschool parent. We want you to feel like you're doing enough, just the way you are. And we don't want to add a bunch of things to your plate, unnecessary things. We want to take things off your plate if we can.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that is really the best thing to do. And we have found. And so we want to share that with people.
Yeah. Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
We're trying to change the conversation a little bit around homeschool because a lot of times I think after listening to podcasts and reading blogs and talking to your neighbor, you can start to feel like you're not doing enough. Mm-hmm. And so we are trying to change that conversation a little bit and help you feel like what you are doing is enough.
Totally. I think also, I have to say, I think this podcast is great for new homeschool parents who don't know where to start. It's also great for veteran homeschool parents who, I think sometimes what happens after years of homeschooling, you raise the bar more and more every year, and then it becomes unattainable. And we're here to kind of take off that pressure for you. So
yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Okay, so next week, Maren, it's our 100th episode.
I cannot believe it.
I know.
Here we are.
Me either. I mean, I dreamed of getting here.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I don't know. I just it was so far away that I couldn't imagine it. So
yeah, and then we got so busy doing the podcast, then it kind of crept up on us.
Yeah,
because we were just on a roll.
Right.
So this is very exciting.
Yeah. So next week is our celebration episode. We're going to celebrate the 100 episodes. Yep. We're going to do a little reflecting.
Yes.
We're going to have a few giveaways.
Yes.
So
hopefully have a few guests.
Yeah. So maybe give away some swag, some of our new swag.
Yes. Very exciting.
Yeah. So you should come back for that episode for sure.
Definitely. It's going to be a celebration, and we want you to be part of it. We want you to be part of it because you are, the people that helped us get this far.
Yeah. You're the people that are listening.
We're celebrating you.
Without you, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Actually, what would be great is if we could just all be together.
I know.
In one room. Physically.
IRL.
Yeah. That's not going to happen. So
not this year. Maybe sometime we'll have a retreat. Yeah. I don't know.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, and then so our title of our episode this week is where we take a winter break. So we just wanted to let you know just in advance, we are going to be taking a winter break in a few weeks. So we're going to be taking a 3-week break.
Yep.
It'll be after episode 101.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do episode 101, and then we're going to take 3 weeks off for the holidays.
But we also have some really great throwbacks planned for you that you do not want to miss these.
For sure.
And they're the episodes that were just highlights for us, and I think are really great to listen to a second time.
Yes.
It's so worth listening to again. And
yes.
Yeah. So
for sure.
All right. So Angela, I have to just ask you, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was
We're
great.
Just coming off of Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
week.
It was great. I'm not really a traditional Thanksgiving celebrator.
I know
a lot of people are, and my kids are. They want the traditions. I have a hard time. I don't know why I have a hard time with traditions. I don't have a hard time. I don't want that pressure of having to do the same thing every year. I feel like that's pressure. So I don't mind doing the same thing. I just don't want to have to do it.
You don't want to be confined to that.
Right.
Yes.
So this year we went to my sister-in-law's, which was great. She lives kind of on the way to our cabin. And what I really wanted to do, and Jeremy really wanted to do, was like skip Thanksgiving altogether and just go to our cabin for a few days because we have been needing a family getaway.
Yes.
But the kids really wanted to do family stuff. And I understand. And we like seeing family too. So we stopped at my sister-in-law's. They saw family, cousins, and we had the traditional Thanksgiving meal, which was great.
Yep.
It was so nice. I'm so thankful that people want to do that.
I know. I agree.
Because I have yet to do that. I have not hosted Thanksgiving like traditionally at my house before. Yeah. So anyways, and then we just went to our cabin and relaxed, and we actually did nothing pretty much. We went for one hike.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time we watched movies and played games.
That just sounds amazing. That sounds
it was
wonderful.
great. It was great.
That's a real break.
It was a break.
Yeah.
How about you? I know you had 2 events.
Well, we had, so the weekend before Thanksgiving, we celebrated with Sean's family. And then the weekend after Thanksgiving, we celebrated with my family.
Okay.
So, which was great for us because the actual Thanksgiving day, it was just the 6 of us here at home, which never happens.
Yeah. What'd you guys do?
We watched the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Okay. Nice.
I mean, I think I could watch that for 10 minutes and be done, but it's okay. It was fine. Everybody loved it. And it's kind of something to have on in the background while we just kind of hang out. So
yeah,
it was great to just hang out together.
Right.
I'm trying to think. We took our dog to a dog park.
Yeah.
We watched a movie. We had a baked potato bar.
Oh,
which
that's a good idea.
My daughter and I planned together. So that was really, really fun just to plan it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun. And and I think we played a game. So
nice.
It was just really low key. And then I hosted our family Thanksgiving here yesterday, but it was also very low key. Like we needed to do it before our girls went to play practice. So we had brunch.
Yeah. Nice.
We made waffles and
so you didn't do a turkey?
We didn't do a turkey. No.
Yeah.
We had a ham.
Okay.
And, fruit and veggies. And I mean, it was pretty simple. But it was also so fun. I do feel like because we're homeschooling, I have that freedom to be like, well, we're not gonna do regular academics for 2 days so we can plan this stuff together as a family. And then it becomes a learning experience for all of us. So
that's great. Good for you.
I like doing that kind of homeschooling.
Yeah. And did your whole family come? Your side of the family?
Except my sister from Chicago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. Good for you.
So, it was really fun.
Good. All right. Should we get into our topic?
Let's dive in.
Okay. So, we're talking about taking a break.
Yes.
And taking a winter break specifically. Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, last year we did an episode called Where We Take a Break.
Yep.
This year's is called Where We Take a Winter Break.
Very similar. Different. Yeah, very different, but very similar, but not the same.
Yes. So if you are interested in listening to that episode, that's episode 54. You could go back. It was probably December of last year.
Well, honestly, we could probably do this topic every year and have more to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably do this topic several times a year.
How about once a month? No, I mean, this is a great time to take a break, though. I mean, if you're ever considering taking a lengthy break, sometimes this is the one you want to do because there's just so many things going on. Even if you're not celebrating always, all these holidays, it just seems like there's always stuff going on. So
yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yes, all the time. So I really like to take a break in December because I like to actually have joy during the season.
Wow.
We have had several seasons where there was not much joy and just craziness.
Right.
So I had to turn that around. We had to turn that around.
Yes. Yeah, because not only are there holidays for you and maybe some celebrations you're planning.
Yeah.
But there's also there's things going on. There's concerts and plays and parties and work parties and family parties and just so many things going on, and some people only have certain, some people might have like a week off in December, so they want to get together and you want to see them. And so it can be crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do think in our culture, we just we want to make it all happen. We want to make it all happen. All the celebrations, we want to make sure we see everybody. We want to make sure we get to all the concerts and everything. And while I think that is so great, it's just hard to do that when you have your regularly scheduled program happening.
Yeah.
In the background.
Right. And I think too, if I'm honest, if we're like using school or traditional school as a standard, which I'm not saying we should, but I think a lot of people, including myself, look to schools and what they're doing. So they're going till the 18th or the 20th or the 16th or whatever it is. So I probably should too.
Right. Yes.
I can tend to think that.
Yeah. And I think we think, well, somebody made that decision for a very good reason. And so,
yeah,
but it may not be based on your same values or whatever. So I think we have to do what's right for our own family and sometimes for each individual person.
Right.
For example, even just today, after our busy, week of celebrating and play practices and stuff, I didn't want to do much today. I really didn't. And my oldest daughter woke up and just made a list of things she wanted to get done today.
Yeah.
And because that was best for her. I mean, to have that consistency in a schedule and feeling accomplished is really important to her. So she checked things off off of her list today, which was great. Needed to happen for her.
Yep. That's awesome that you guys can be different in what you're choosing to do.
Right.
You've come to that place where it doesn't have to be the same thing for everybody. I think that's so great.
It is great. It is. But let me tell you, it's taken a long time to get here. And we've had definitely bumped heads along the way. And I think, it's okay to do that. It's okay to not be in the space either, to be in that place.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think too, when you have younger kids, that's hard.
Yes,
you're all doing the same thing. So
exactly.
Once your kids get older, then they can start kind of branching out a little bit.
Yes. But I do have to say, so when my oldest does that, it reminds me though that I'm so glad I didn't freak out.
Yeah.
For the last, 3 or 4 years when I was like, what is going on? How do I make this work with her?
Yeah.
And I just kind of I have to say, I just let it be kind of tough for a while. It just, we had to go through that tough time and I couldn't solve those problems along the way for her, or I couldn't try and figure out all the different things that she needed all the time. It was just a very long process. And so it's okay if it's not like that. For you today. So
right.
Yeah. So should we talk about, other reasons why we take a lengthy break?
Yeah. Well, I feel like for me, when I'm thinking about anything I'm doing for the long haul, whether that's school or a job or a podcast or like whatever you're doing kind of long term, I feel like your brain needs a rest.
Definitely.
It's like your brain needs a and maybe rest is the wrong word, but because I know I said last week, I don't like brain break, the word brain break. Your brain just needs something else to be thinking about. You need, it needs time to focus on other things so that when you come back to that thing you're doing, whether it's school or work or whatever, you're refreshed and you have new energy.
Sure. It makes me think, when you said that, I was picturing a heart, when you want it, you want it to get in shape, you gotta make it work really hard, but then it always has to take, a rest. It doesn't mean it's completely resting. It's still working.
Right.
It's doing things. It just needs a break from the intensity.
Right.
So we need that too, for sure.
Right. And I have to say, even if you're enjoying what you're doing, because for us with the podcast, I remember last year, I think it was last year, we didn't want to take a break.
No, we didn't.
And sometimes in the summer, we don't want to take breaks because we like what we're doing. But also, then when we do, I come back and I go, oh, that was needed.
Definitely.
You don't realize it until after you do it.
Yes.
That because then your brain's thinking about other things. It's getting a chance to be creative in other areas.
Yeah. Yep.
And so that breathes new life into that thing you're doing for the long haul.
Yes. And I have to say, sometimes also we think, well, my child is really behind in math, so we can't take a break in math or reading or whatever it is. We need to catch up. But I think breaks are sometimes what's needed more than more intensity.
It might help you catch up to take a break.
Definitely. I would say that for sure.
I have to say that is so hard for me. I just got to be honest,
Yeah,
because I am the one to tend to think like, okay, we're going to take a break except for math. We're just going to keep doing math because that's really important and we haven't done it that much in the past.
Yeah.
And I was slow to start this year or whatever things I'm telling myself. I was slow to start this year. I ended last year too early. I took a huge break last Christmas. Whatever it is, I'm telling myself all these things, and those are my reasons for thinking that I should probably just keep going with math.
Definitely. I do the same thing. I do the same thing about even just everything. I just think I take so many breaks all year. Like, we've had a busy night. We're going to take a break the next morning. Yeah. And that happens often with me and our family. I want to give those breaks. So then I feel like when it comes to December, I just think I've already taken too many breaks. I can't take any more. That's what I think. But I don't think that's the actual case.
No.
I mean, we need regular small breaks, and then it's good to have a long break sometimes.
I was
going to say, it doesn't have to be a month either. We're just saying that. But, whatever's best for you and your family.
Yeah.
Time-wise.
I feel like we have to keep reminding each other because I need to hear this, and I need to hear the reasons.
Yes.
Because I forget.
I do too. I mean, that's why we do all these episodes. The thing we're struggling with, but we know really in our mind what the right answer is just this is all self-talk.
Right. for sure.
Definitely. Another reason why I like to take a good chunk of time off over the holidays is I like to make last minute plans.
Yeah.
That's fun for me. And that gives me life. So I like to be able to say yes to things when they pop up.
Right. That is so great.
Yeah.
Because things come up last minute. And when you have a friend who's like, hey, do you want to go ice skating? You want to be able to say yes.
Exactly. Or when a kid says that too. When your child, one of your children, or, Mom, can we make cookies or whatever? I want to say yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That is great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important for especially people of your personality type.
It's
who
true.
are Ps.
Yes.
Who like to be spontaneous.
Yes.
That's really important to be able to exercise that. Because I think we live in this world where things are scheduled.
Yeah. A lot of things
you're
are
living
scheduled.
in that world.
I am living in a J world for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. And my husband's a J. Although he really is good at flying by the seat of his pants too.
That's nice.
With me.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so another great reason to take a break is to build positive memories.
Yes.
And connections with your kids. So I want my kids to think, oh, Christmas is such a fun time.
Exactly.
I really enjoy Christmas.
Yes.
Or the holidays or whatever, or winter. I don't want them to think that is the busiest, craziest time and my mom is
always running around
and crazy and yelling at us. Mm-hmm. No, I do not want them to think that.
Right.
And so in order for that to happen, we got to slow down.
Exactly.
We have to slow down.
So true. And I feel the same way about homeschooling. I want them to have positive memories about homeschooling. In general. I mean, when I don't care too much necessarily. I shouldn't care that much when people ask how's homeschooling going or whatever. But really, the point of that is I want them in their minds to just think, just feel like homeschooling is really good. It's a good thing for them.
Right.
This is working for me.
Right. You want them to be able to say to other people and to themselves, I really like it.
Exactly.
I have fun.
Mean it. Yeah. And I want them to look back when they're adults and say, this was a really good thing for me.
Yeah. 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 And they can't do that when they're just, when there's so much going on. And like we said, both of our kids are in plays.
Yes.
I mean, one of my girls has like 25 performances in December. And then, there's practices leading up to that. So I have practice every night for a long stretch of time.
That in and of itself could be complete homeschool right there. I mean, just that.
Yeah,
if
it is.
They just did that, it would be enough.
It would be enough. It would be enough. Sorry.
I know. I do that all the time.
And both of our kids have birthdays. Your 4 kids have birthdays.
Yeah.
During this time.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids with birthdays during this time.
So
and that
we're basically party schooling.
And my kids are going to your kids' parties. So and vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa. Exactly. So
there's a lot going on. and my husband has work Christmas parties, and I'm sure yours does too. And that is the way it is with people who are working. It's all good, fun stuff that we want to be well rested for and excited about, not dreading, and like enjoying together.
Yes.
So
and really like the connecting, making positive memories. I think making those connections relationally, those are the things that actually are the foundation for learning. So when our kids' emotional and like those connecting needs are getting met, learning is going to happen so much faster and easily. I'm not going to say it's going to be always easy to teach, but it's just going to go so much better if those connections are just made. And and this is the time to just pour into those connections.
Right. It's a basic need, like food or water or rest or whatever. It's a basic need, and they need that to be met before they can even think about learning.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And the more they feel connected and respected and loved, and they feel that way about the other people in their family, the more that happens, the more the learning just is inevitable.
Right.
So, yeah.
I love it.
Yes. So let's move on to maybe some things that our kids learn even when we're not doing direct academic teaching or, our traditional homeschool schedule. Like, what are our kids learning in those times?
Okay, well, I would say specific to this holiday time, the big thing I want my kids to learn is this might sound abstract, but this is what the holidays entail. The holidays, when you are an adult, are gonna mean you have a lot of obligations or fun things to do, not necessarily obligations. You have a lot of fun things going on. You have to prepare gifts for people and think that through. You have to plan all those gifts out. You have to budget for that. You have to go take time to shop for that, wrap for that. You're gonna probably have to bake cookies and put your tree up or whatever you're doing. And so I want my kids to know that, like, this is what the holidays are about. And I want you to learn young how to manage that in your life.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
That's key.
Yeah. Because I feel like if I am doing all that work and also doing school and like it kind of excluding them from all of that hard work of like, let's just say planning gifts or decorating the house or whatever. Like we're just shoving that to the side because we got to do school.
Yeah.
That's not real. That's not real life.
Exactly,
I don't feel like.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want them to learn like how to manage the holiday time, basically.
Yeah, that's so good. And how to manage themselves. And I think, a big part of that, I think about that as self-regulation. Like, okay, if I am going to spend 3 hours wrapping presents today, then I need a break after that.
Yeah.
And we can't plan another thing right after that or whatever it is. If we are going to go ice skating with family later, then when am I going to get my downtime? How is that going to work today or whatever?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. What's a healthy amount to fit into a day?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that.
And I think sleep is so important. And I don't want that to be sacrificed in this season.
I agree.
Especially for all of our kids. All of our kids need lots of sleep, And that's one benefit of homeschooling is that they can take what they need.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I agree. I think sleep is so important. I remember, I think every single day when I wake up, I think, oh my goodness, I am a different person than I was when I had toddlers and babies. When I was up all night.
Sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a completely new person because I get sleep now.
Yeah,
so
for
it
sure.
can change your whole life.
It can.
Yeah.
It can.
I think another really important thing for kids to learn, especially during the holidays, but all the time, but especially this is the time to show them, is that they are not, I don't know how to say this exactly, but they have some control over their own lives. Like they don't necessarily, we aren't going to plan every single minute out for them based on what we want to do as parents. We are going to take into consideration their desires and their needs. And we want to have quality time with them. And so we're keeping those things in mind when we plan. And I think that just makes such a big difference in kids I think just that they feel valued. They feel respected. And when people feel respected, then they respect others.
Yes.
So, we're respecting their time and their energy. And so I think it's very reciprocal.
Right. And they're in control.
Yes.
And so if they decide to pack too much in, or if they decide to stay up late, they're going to feel the effects of that on their own.
Right.
Rather than if I did that to them.
Right.
Yeah. I think that is so good.
Yeah.
They're giving them a lot of practice in how to manage their time.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking of kids, who feel obligated to do things from beginning December to end of December, just all obligation or,
Yeah.
It's just, that can be wearing.
Right.
So, and I think the same with academics too. If it's always us just deciding what's best and not necessarily taking in mind what really is best, for the individual child.
Right.
Another thing I think that happens in these times when you give your kids space and they kind of decide what they want to work on or learn or whatever, and it might not look like a writing book or whatever. It might not look traditional, but maybe they're going to work on Legos all day or something because you've given them that space. I feel like when kids have the time and space to choose, they figure out how they learn best. And how they function best. And so, do they like to play with their friends all day or their siblings, or do they just do they want to do a project on their own? There's just so many things that go on there that seem very trivial to us, when they're deciding, do I want to paint or do I want to, go wrestle or something? That seems like inconsequential to me, but to them, they're learning so much in those choices
about themselves. And because we have an open time, this is kind of like what you were saying before, because we have an open period, they are able to decide that for themselves.
Yes.
And practice that themselves.
Exactly.
A lot of this is just practicing.
It's practicing.
Just practicing. And I think, I'm noticing this in especially my older kids.
Yeah.
And as my kids get older, I feel like they are discovering for themselves what works best for them.
Yes.
And they're able to put that into practice.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for them to the next step then is to be able to verbalize, the intricacies of what they like to do. And that's a really high level skill, I think.
Yeah, I did not do this. Let's be honest. I wasn't thinking about this stuff till 30s. Till I was 30.
For yourself?
Yeah. For myself.
Totally not at all.
I was just going along. Doing what
everybody else does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And it's mind-blowing to us.
Yeah.
Because we've only been doing this for a quarter of our life.
Yeah. Right. Right.
But when kids learn these kind of skills when they're 6, 8, 10, whatever, just think of how developed they'll get when they're 40 too.
Right. And they probably aren't verbalizing this
No.
or don't consciously know this. Of course not. They don't know this, but they, in a concrete way, but it is, it is in a small way getting practiced every day.
Definitely.
Hopefully someday they'll be able to.
Yeah. So. As they get older, you can kind of name those things for them too. Yeah. Say, look what you're doing here. You're doing a lot of good decision making for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you noticed this, and this, and this. And then you made that decision.
Yeah.
That's so great.
That's great. All right, let's talk about how this actually looks for us. Because I feel like, this is all great and everything, what we're saying. But is it a free-for-all? Or what are you actually doing? What things are you keeping? What are you actually doing during break?
That is such a good question.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our morning things still kind of stay the same. We have morning routines where we make breakfast and do our chores. Those kind of things just happen to happen. We're going to continue those things.
Yeah, I was saying that was going to be my main point was I keep a routine when possible.
Yeah.
And I said this last week too, when we were talking about our listener question.
Yeah.
But I feel like even if we just start the day with a routine, even if we just start how we usually do, the rest of the day goes well.
So
rather
much
than
better.
if I'm like, if we can't, on some days we can't for whatever reason because we have weird things going on. But if we can't, it does end up. I feel like we kind of flounder.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas if we just start with a routine, then we can like break off if needed.
Yes. Yeah. I think of it sometimes like the tent stakes. When the tent stakes are in, then like the tent doesn't blow away. And I feel like those little routines throughout the day just like kind of hold us all in place a little bit. And then between them, it's just, things can happen and it doesn't like shake us as much.
You have some good analogies today. You're good at that.
My analogy game is on.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing that I was going to mention is that sometimes I give them. Oh yeah. Not sometimes. Usually, I give them some things to do still.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're little things. Mm-hmm. It'll be like for example, we had a day like this today because we're having all these practices and whatever. We're kind of already in our break mode a little bit.
Yes.
We're easing into that break. So today was kind of a little bit of a break day. Yeah. But they still had things they had to do. Like one kid had to take the laundry out and fold it.
Yep.
I wanted them all to take elderberry syrup. I write that down.
Yep.
I wanted them all to go outside.
Yep.
I wanted them all to read at some point during the day.
Yeah.
And so those are little things that really don't take long.
No.
But I still feel like, kind of like your tent stake analogy, I feel like they expect those things.
Yes.
And they like to get those finished so then they can do their own thing.
Yeah, and there is a sense of security in them too, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, feels good.
Do you do that too?
I do though. Yeah, I have different things probably, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I mean, mine are those are just my examples from today.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably have different things too.
Because the thing is, things pop up all the time, and when you're homeschooling, laundry has to happen.
We're still doing laundry.
Yeah, we're always wearing clothes. So
yeah. Okay.
Yep, for sure. I would say definitely in December we're going to more movies, for $5 Tuesday.
Yep,
or we're watching movies at home more.
Yeah,
it's just a good time of year to be watching movies.
It's cold outside and there's a lot of good Christmas movies.
Yeah,
so
and it's it's storytelling. It creates lots of great conversations for us,
for sure.
So yeah, and it's like we talked about before. It's creating that the connections for all of us together to do something.
Yeah, that is not cheating at all.
Thank you.
It's not.
You. That's what I needed to hear. I'll keep asking you.
One thing I love to do in December is read my holiday picture books.
Oh yes.
I just brought out the bin, or actually my daughter brought out the bin. She said, Mom, I thought you'd want this.
Oh.
Yep, I do.
Yep.
We're going to read those.
She knows.
I just have a bin of holiday picture books. I love to read them.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah.
So I want time for that. So I love having a little bit of a break so that I can do that stuff.
Yes. We do the same thing. Well, we read some Christmas books, but we also just read just fun books. It's less formal of a read aloud time. I love reading aloud. It's my favorite, but it's just different. It's maybe with just, whoever wants to read whatever, I'll read it to them. And it's just, I don't know, more cozy, I think.
Well, you have time.
Yeah.
To be spontaneous.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we actually did an episode 2 years ago with our favorite holiday picture books. I think it's like around episode 4. It's a bonus episode.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to listen to that and hear our favorite holiday picture books, you could listen to us talk about it. Be kind. It was like our one of our first episodes.
Oh man. I can't believe we're even telling people about it, but
I was hesitating whether or not to bring that up. But they're also, if you don't need to listen to us, they're in our Amazon shop. And there's a section called holiday picture books or something.
Yes, great.
Holiday
That's
books.
So great.
So you can find them there.
Another thing that you will see in our house during December while we're taking a break is a lot of baking. And that's not because of me. I'm not a big baker, but it's what my kids like to do a lot. Yeah. So, I mean, we could bake something every day.
Yeah.
And they'd be happy with it.
And are you okay with that, just as a side note, like with all the sugar and everything?
I don't love all the sugar and stuff, but I do feel like because there's 6 people in our family and, we share it with one other, somebody else, then it's like they don't get much of it anyway.
They don't? Okay.
Yeah.
My kids will bake like a whole double batch of cookies and then just like eat them all in one afternoon, like the 3 of them.
Well, like if that were the case, I would freeze them probably. You know what I mean? And just, I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe, especially if they're baking every day, I'd be like, we're freezing those.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes when there's so much baking, I'm like, can we stop? Because that's a lot of sugar.
Oh yeah.
Or we're going to have to give these away.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
I have a hard time with that.
It's so tough. We were talking just yesterday. My daughter and I were talking about why we had these conversation cards from Radish Kids, and one of them was, "Why do you love baking?" And my daughter just said, "Because I like to eat it."
Yeah,
because I like to eat it.
I think that's the reason. I don't think it's like because it's this great hobby.
Well, I think there are a lot of other reasons why she likes it. She can't verbalize them.
But I think my kids are like, this is a way that I can eat sugar.
Yeah.
And my mom is approving. If I ask her to go buy me some Snickers bars, she's going to say no.
Not happening.
But if I make chocolate chip cookies, she's going to be happy about it.
Isn't that what we all do for baking, though? Isn't that why we all bake? A little bit.
Probably.
Somebody's got to do it.
Oh, wow.
But it is a fun shared experience.
It is.
For sure.
Okay, some other things we do a lot of in December are going ice skating.
Yes.
My kids love ice skating.
Have to go ice skating and sledding.
Yes.
Well, if there's snow. We haven't had much snow yet, but...
No. Lots of games are happening.
Yes. This is the time for games.
I love games, so
I just got at Costco. I just have to say I got at Costco a pack of I think it's a pack of 10 card games.
Oh yeah, I got that.
You did.
Oh wait, is it just the playing cards? A pack of 12?
No,
or 10?
It's like
they're games.
It's 10 different card games.
Oh, I didn't get that. I got the pack of 10 playing cards.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, I think we need this.
That is ambitious, but I think mine's ambitious too.
It's like Go Fish and Old Maid and
it's like a lot of games. Well, it's Uno, and then there was Dose, and then Mad Gab. There were some other ones. I'll have to.
It's okay.
I'll share it.
I'll probably get it the next time I go there.
You're going to want to.
Okay. Anything else you guys do in December?
Well, like I said, there are some academics happening, especially with kids who need that schedule and need to feel accomplished every day. And then also lots of play practices and performances and, stuff like that. So,
yep.
That's all part of learning.
For sure.
It's all learning. So, for
sure. Okay. Well, next we are going to hear from one of our friends and patrons, Kate. Kate, actually, she's in our Voxer group, and I remember a few months ago, I don't know, or maybe it was this
because
summer.
She's an $8 patron
supporter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kate. I remember. I don't know when this was. The summer, I can't remember, but she said we take the whole month of December off.
Yeah,
and I was kind of floored by that because, not floored by that, but that's what I want to do. But I always feel like, oh, maybe we'll just wait till like December 10th or December 15th or something. You know, like I was talking about, I tend to put that pressure on myself. And so when she said that, I was like, oh, and Kate knows. Yeah. She's smart. She's been doing this a while.
Yeah.
And I really respect her. And I thought that really made an impression on me that she takes the whole month off. Yes. And so we asked her if she would tell all of you a little bit about that and why she decides to take the whole month off and kind of what she does. And so she has recorded a little piece for you. And so we hope you enjoy this message from Kate.
Well, Thanksgiving is over. December is fast approaching. And the holiday season for many of us is on the way. I homeschool my 3 daughters, ages 7, 11, and 13. Early on in my homeschool journey, I actually really looked forward to December for holiday lesson plans, themed projects, crafts, historical tie-ins. It was still festive, it was still fun, but it was still school. It still required a great deal of curriculum planning, extracurriculum planning on my end. It still required the daily schedule, routine, and checklists for my kiddos. And it still required making sure those fun and festive projects were tying in with the subjects we were hoping to accomplish every day or every week. As the years went on, I really noticed my kids were having fun, but my own stress level was definitely increasing. During a time I hoped to really soak up the season and maybe get a little still. So when I did find time to really reflect, to find that stillness and listen to myself, I realized there was so much rich goodness and beauty happening throughout December, throughout the holidays, that if we made the conscious decision as a family to officially take a break, which for us is the week leading up to Thanksgiving through the new year, we just might find that opening to seek out that peace and really connect as a family. For the past 4 years, my daughters have all danced in our local production of the Nutcracker. What that looks like for our calendar is a super busy November, filled with extra dance classes, extra rehearsals, costume fittings, dress rehearsals, and then the week leading up to Thanksgiving, then the production itself. Once December comes, as a multi-faith household, we celebrate both Hanukkah and Christmas, as well as the birthday of my youngest daughter tossed in the mix. Making this conscious decision over the years to set aside our normal routine, to shelve some of that daily standard curriculum, has opened up this time and space as one of the richest, most connected, joy-filled, and peaceful times for our family. I still pull out our box of books for each holiday. I have a winter solstice box, I have a Hanukkah box, I have a Christmas box. I fill our book basket with those books. The kids look so forward to reading through them each year. It's become tradition. If we're out and about at our local bookshop, we will pick up new titles that catch our eye. Games are still happening, baking is still happening, crafting is going on, but it's not something I'm predetermining to tie into anything specific. It's really led by the kids. It's really led by our days. Invitations come up, we're able to say yes. Concerts happening around town, we're able to pop out and see what there is to offer. We still watch holiday movies. There's a lot of music happening at all times. But there's really just space to let the joy in without having to balance it with a more rigid schedule and extra expectations on me during a time when I'm already trying to keep the holidays going and together for my crew. This year, we're actually traveling in December. So instead of considering which curriculum to bring along, my girls have already started on their own some special planning. My 11-year-old is super interested in how we will decorate a house that's not our own. And by interested, I mean on a mission to find out how we can decorate a house that is not our own, to feel as festive as possible. She's brainstorming ideas. She's thinking up areas around town we can grab decorations, crafts she can do that would be a bit more subtle. My 13-year-old has an entire list of exciting events happening in a state, in an area of the country we don't live, map questing out how far these different events may be to where we're staying. It's just a time where there's space for them to do that. It's space for them to come in and be part of the planning. There's so much learning happening. There's such a deeper time for connecting as a family. And for me, I actually get that space of stillness that I need throughout the holiday season. So once the Christmas decorations are finally packed away and our suitcases finally unpacked, the new year has rung in. We are really ready as a family. I am really ready as a homeschooling mom to start fresh and rejuvenated in the new year. The checklists, we'll just pull them right back out. The curriculum, it will be waiting. And hopefully, we'll have the energy full to start again.
That was so good. And I feel like we all need to give ourselves permission to take December off.
Right. You have our permission to do that if that's what's going to work best for you.
If you needed it, but yeah.
If you need it.
If you needed
We're telling you can.
Definitely.
Yep.
And Kate too. So thank you so much, Kate, for that. All those words of wisdom. It's very good. It's just so good to hear, somebody who's very much thought this through. It's not like, I guess we didn't get much done in December. No, this is very thoughtful.
Right.
And we've decided to hold back.
Yeah.
And lots of good things are happening because of it.
And I just feel like, too, it's not just us telling you.
Yeah.
Somebody else, too. And I'm sure there's lots more of you who do this.
Yeah.
So.
And we'd love to hear from you, too.
Yeah.
If you do this or any form of this.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear it.
All right. Let's move on to loving this week.
Yes. Angela, what are you loving this week?
I am loving a book. It's called A Place for Us by Fatima Farheen Mirza.
Nice.
It is so good. It is my...
I can't wait.
It is consuming my life in the last week.
Oh, I love books that consume your life.
It is just wonderful. First of all, I just looked up this author.
Yeah.
Prior to coming on here, and I saw she's like 27.
Oh my goodness.
And she wrote this gorgeous book. It is just so beautifully written. And okay, so it's about this family of they're Indian American.
Okay.
They're also Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the two parents and they have 3 kids. And it's just about their life.
Okay.
Basically.
Wow. Where is it? Where do they live?
They live here. They live in California.
California. Okay.
Yep. And
I don't know why I feel like I needed to picture that. Anyway.
No, it's important.
Yeah.
It's to know your setting. Yeah. The parents came from India, immigrated from India, and their kids were born here. So,
okay.
And they have 2 girls and a boy.
Yeah.
And it's, and related so much to the story because I have 2 girls and a boy.
Yeah.
Even though our lives were so different, but this author speaks, you hear the perspective of all the people in the family at different times.
Oh, wow.
And the book kind of jumps back and forth between time, which I usually don't like, but I really loved it here. Yeah. And you just, the way she talks about their thoughts and observations is so deep.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're not into really deep books, this is a deep book.
That's the kind of
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
I cannot wait.
So nuanced and just so well written. I loved it so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
Did you read or listen?
I read. I got it from the library on my Kindle.
Oh, wow.
I'm almost done. I'm at 90%. So I'm just...
You're just holding on. Do you feel like at the end of those kind of books, you're like, I want to go slow. I don't even want to finish.
I know. Well, actually, I was thinking I might just start over again and read it from the beginning.
Wow.
Now that I've been through it once,
yeah,
I want to read it again.
You'd probably get a lot more
right
out of
away.
It too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those books. I love those kind of books.
Yeah. It's beautiful. So if you've been, I know it was a hot book this year.
Okay.
I found out after. Somebody somewhere told me to read it, and so I reserved it from the library. Okay. And then it just came in, and I was like, well, I don't know what this book is, but somebody somewhere recommended it, so I'm just going to read it, and it is so good.
Wow.
So, and then I saw Sarah Jessica Parker published it. She started a publishing company, and this is her first book.
Oh.
That she published.
It's all coming together now.
Have you heard this before?
Yeah, I have heard of the book now. Because she's been posting about it for months.
I don't follow her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's a good one to follow.
Is she?
If you don't follow her on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay, I will. Yeah. Because I now, the next book that she publishes,
you're probably going to want.
Read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is so good.
So true. So true.
Yes. What are you loving, Maren?
Okay. I am loving a holiday album. It's Ingrid Michaelson's Songs for the Season. And I love it. I am not always a huge Christmas album fan. I don't always, I always just think sometimes it's the hot new artist does a Christmas album, and it's just not my thing usually. Yeah. I want their real music. I want the music they love to play. This is a masterpiece, I feel like. It is so good. It is, Ingrid Michaelson has this voice, of I don't know, a 40s jazz musician kind of. And she just, I don't know, she picked the perfect songs, and it's the perfect arrangement for her voice and her style. It's just beautiful all around from beginning to end.
Wow.
And she also does, you'll appreciate this, Angela, she does a song with Leslie Odom Jr.
Okay, yep.
All I Want for Christmas. And it's, we always think of Mariah Carey singing that song.
Yeah.
Super upbeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
This song is completely the opposite. And it's so beautifully done. I mean, I think a lot of people don't remake that song because it's such a huge Christmas song. It's just Mariah Carey sings that song.
Right.
But she did it. She did it. And I think because it's completely the opposite of the way you usually hear it, it's just amazing. It was,
That's
she
awesome.
pulled it off perfectly.
I just wrote that down.
Yeah.
I'm going to go look it up.
You're going to love it.
Because you're listening to holiday music already.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I would not normally start playing music until Thanksgiving, which it's after Thanksgiving now, but we started a little earlier, I think because, our youngest had a birthday before Thanksgiving, and once she has a birthday, I feel like
it's Christmas.
It's Christmas, and all the kids were playing Christmas music, so I was like, I'm not going to fight it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. And come back next week for our 100th episode celebration.
Yes, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be so much fun.
And if you want, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Homeschool Unrefined. We have a closed Facebook group. We'd love to have you join. It's Unrefined Homeschoolers. If you do, there's some questions you need to answer, or one question to answer before you get in.
Just to make sure you're a human and not a robot.
So don't forget to answer that.
Yep.
And then we also have a website, homeschoolunrefined.com, where you can find links to everything that we talked about. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Homeschool Unrefined is created and produced by Maren Gorse and Angela Sizer. Ethan Miller is our editor, and Amanda Ginn is our VP of all the important things.